In the early 2000s, NIOSH began investigating opportunities to improve occupant and worker safety when in the patient compartment of a moving ambulance by crash testing a variety of ambulances. Crash testing ambulances allows engineers to better understand how the structure reacts during front, side, and rear crash events. This module covers the value of crash testing in the design process and explains the underlying characteristics and testing methods used to evaluate an ambulance in front, side, and rear crash testing. You'll also learn how data collected from these tests serves as the basis for developing safety innovations in the patient compartment.
This particular project started out as a small government effort, but as we got involved with the industry, we saw great opportunities together.
The goal and the overarching goal, if you will, between the government and the ambulance industry was to provide as safe an environment for that particular ambulance as there would be in the car.
We saw that we had addressed a lot of the safety issues that you could logically see, but once you involved an ambulance in a crash in the same kind of ways that we've crashed passenger vehicles for years, I think there were some basic light bulbs that went off.
It has given us the credibility, most importantly the credibility of standards that allow us to provide a safer vehicle through facts, through scientific evidence.
Crash testing for the ambulance program follows the same exact protocol as it does in the automotive industry. For example, performing a vehicle frontal collision, we perform that test with the vehicle traveling 30 miles per hour into a concrete wall.
During a crash, some of the energy is consumed as the front of the vehicle is crushed. However, much of that energy is still actually transferred through the vehicle body to the back of the ambulance. During a crash, we were able to measure that energy on the floor. We can now recreate that energy or force in a lab to design and test a cot, seat, or equipment mount without having to crash more ambulances.
30 miles per hour a lot of times doesn't sound very fast to people, but you have to understand that the vehicle is going from 30 to 0 in less than an eighth of a second. The G-forces and the energy transfer are extremely high during that time period, much, much higher than what would be seen in a typical neighborhood crash.
These new standards that we're talking about that are part of the collaboration with not only NIOSH, but other government agencies, Homeland Security, GSA, NHTSA, and a whole host of other parties too. We've had direct involvement from the chassis OEMs, from Ford and General Motors, from automotive test facilities that have some very, very incredible talent in automotive safety. We've been able to get more or less kind of a dream team together in this research forum to help create these standards.
Knowing how the vehicle responds during each of these crashes, engineers are better able to design other interior structures that can handle the unique loading found in these larger vehicles. Test engineers installed accelerometers on the vehicle frame patient compartment floor and ceiling in a specific pattern. Data collected with these accelerometers is used to find the vehicle's impact curve, allowing engineers to form the crash pulse corridor, which can easily be recreated in a sled test facility. Using the vehicle's crash response, or crash pulse, engineers now have the building blocks needed to design and test seats, cots, equipment mounts, cabinets, and the body itself, so that each component can better withstand the real-world forces found in a crash event. Frontal impact testing of the ambulance consisted of 3 ambulances which were crashed into a fixed concrete barrier at 30 miles an hour. These tests matched the testing requirements used by the Federal Motor Vehicle Safety Standard FMVSS 208. Data from these tests has been published as SAE J2917.
Now that we have characterized the energy in a frontal crash, we can recreate that crash on a sled and test a single seat or a cot or an equipment mount for far less cost than it takes to crash an entire ambulance.
Side impact testing of the ambulance matches the testing requirements used by the Insurance Institute for Highway Safety when testing passenger cars, vans, and light trucks. This is the same test that is used for their 5-star crash rating system.
We performed 4 ambulance side impact crash tests. In each test, a 3,300-pound moving deformable barrier impacted each ambulance at 31 miles per hour. Data from these tests has been published as SAE J2956.
Recognizing the potential for injury from a rear impact, as well as a rebound from a frontal collision, the team also performed rear crash testing.
Rear impact testing was completed using a modified version of the side impact test of the Insurance Institute for Highway Safety. The team used the same 3,300-pound moving deformable barrier and impacted the rear of both modular and van-style ambulances.
Data from these tests has been published as SAE J3044.
Full vehicle crash testing provides ambulance manufacturers and suppliers with the information they need to improve the crashworthiness of their products.
All of this has been completed with one simple goal in mind: to provide you with a work environment that helps you be as safe at work as if you were traveling to work in your own car.
So the next time your agency is thinking about purchasing a new ambulance, please work with your manufacturer to make sure that the seating, cot, and the other major components have been crash tested.